So, we paid a visit to the Retro Realm 2.0.
Close your eyes.
Right, okay, so this was actually a family day out. It was me, the missus, Connor obviously, and we had Kyle as well for a few days, so we took him as well. So it gave us all a chance to have a look around the Retro Realm 2.0 because obviously, if you're not already aware, Scott has recently relocated the Retro Realm, so this is now the 2.0, and this is in a shopping centre. Before he was in the micro shops, now he's in a completely different shopping centre. But I should add, he shares this store with Attic in the Moon, which I believe is run by Lena. Apologies if I'm getting your name wrong. I'm sure it is Lena. And that works out really well. And I'll tell you why. Because we go in, I'm looking at the games and the comics and the collectibles, all that good stuff that I'm into with the boys. And while I'm doing that, the wife's on the other side and she's looking at the scented candles and various other things over there. So as a result, we both ended up spending money there. So it works well. And this is, I think, a good mix of the two because this is what you're going to get. You're going to get men and women or families go in there and, you know, the men or the boys are going to be over this side. The women and the girls are going to be over that side. Everybody wins. You know, there's something for everybody. So this works out really well. I think it's a very good blend. And, yeah, I've got to add the candle that the missus got. Not only was it a great value for money, but it also smells really nice. The missus lit it in the hallway literally a day or two after getting it, and it puts a nice smell out across the entire flat. So one thing I can say to you is if you do go there and you do like things like scented candles and that, you wouldn't go wrong to buy one from there because not only are they good value, but they smell real nice too. So I've got to say that. Right, so getting back to the Retro Realm 2.0, obviously I've gone up there. I took some stuff up to trade in, but I also walked away with quite a bit as well. And because the last time I went up there, I traded a lot of stuff in because I was out of work. I'd been in hospital. Obviously, I was off sick. I wasn't getting paid. So the last time I went up there, which was when it was still in the micro shops, I sold a lot of stuff because I needed the money. This time round, I wanted to make sure that when I did trade some stuff in, I also left some money in Scott's pocket because of obviously what happened last time. So the trade-ins went towards some of this, but I also made sure I spent money too. So that way, Scott this time was coming out on the upper end of this, not me. So, but I did have a pile of stuff all ready to go when I got there, and then ended up adding to it while I was there. So let's have a look. We'll go through it. So first off, we've got this, and this was actually a gift from Scott. I believe it was the wife that noticed this, and obviously it's an old retro 80s, 90s cartoon. And when I saw it, or when she showed it to me, I was like, right, I've got to have that. And that is Count Duckula for the Spectrum. Now, I have no idea if this is a good game, but it's Count Duckula, and I thought, you know what, just because it's got Count Duckula on it, I've got to get it. It's coming home with me. And for an old game, I mean, I've got to say, it's in fantastic condition. I mean, the tape looks brand new, and, you know, there's the inlay, and, oh, helps if I hold it on camera. There's the inlay there. You know, I don't think this is the original case. I imagine you would have had a see-through case on this, but it's in very good condition. And like I say, I'm pretty certain it was this one that Scott gifted me. So there's that. Now this one, I'm kind of giving something away here that will be coming in a later video, but I got it from the realm, so I'm going to show it, and you're going to find out with a few bits I've got here. But that is Daley Thompson's Decathlon for the Commodore 64. And you're probably thinking, Lee, why on earth have you bought that? Well, that's because, and here's a little precursor, I'm collecting hit squads. That's right. It's all Martin's fault. I blame the Hobby Lodge for this. Basically, because he's been doing these videos, I saw a lot of games I liked. I started buying them. Before I knew it, I had a few hit squads, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm doing this now. So, yeah, so when I saw this at Scott's, obvious reasons, when you see a game that you're after or gonna need, and it's in your mate's shop, pick it up. Why would I give the money to a stranger when I can give it to a friend? So yeah, so we got Decathlon, and there will be hit squad videos coming, guys. I just haven't got round to it yet. So that's them. Right, let's put them over there, because I've got to try and create a bit of space here. I've got quite a bit of stuff here. Right, I think we'll go with the Nintendo stuff, and we'll do, actually, well, yeah, we'll do the Nintendo stuff because it makes sense. Right, so first off, Shinobi on the 3DS. I remember Scott picking this up, saying it was a good game, and I love these sort of games anyway. As you know, I've got a martial arts background. Anything that's got ninjas in, or any type of martial arts fighting, I'm pretty much into it. So, and there we go. There's the cart, and there's the manual right there. Now, I'm not going to go into prices because I don't think that's right, but I can tell you now, I did get that for a great deal. Yeah, I think it's wrong to discuss prices because, you know, say, for example, Scott decided to do me a mate's rate. He might not want to charge everyone there. So I think it'd be unfair of me to say how much that was because, you know, then someone could go in there expecting it for that price. So that's why I'm not doing that. Then we got Super R-Type. Great game. Never had it physical. So when I saw it, I was like, right, definitely having that. This was sitting in the pile waiting for me when I got there. So that's Super R-Type. Now you're going to notice there is a lot of Nintendo here. Obviously, I recently got an N64 off of Martin. Now, I've never played Blast Corps, but Scott said it was a good game. It's one he kept telling me to pick up. So when I saw that he had it, I was like, right, put it aside for me, mate. I'll have that. So that's Blast Corps. Not an expensive game, that, either. So now, going back to the fighting thing, Killer Instinct Gold. I'm a big Killer Instinct fan. I've got it on the SNES. I play it on the Xbox One, which is the newer version. So naturally, I've got gold for the N64. So yeah, I don't think I've ever, I don't know actually. No, I have played it. I have played the gold edition back in the day. A mate of mine had it. And of course, another game a mate of mine had back then was Wave Race. And of course, this is, you know, it's in good condition, as you can see. This is one of the better jet ski games. If you've watched some of my This Game Sucks, you would have seen a really bad run on the PS2. This is not one of them. This is one that's actually considered a good wave race game. Right, now this is the one that's giving things away a bit because obviously I do my Star Wars video game pursuit. Haven't done one for a while. And that's because I've gradually been picking bits up. So here's one of them things that you will see appear in that video, obviously, along with other stuff. but that's Empire Strikes Back on the Game Boy, and it's in very good condition. When I saw it sitting in Scott's shop, I was like, right, add that to the pile, mate, I'll have that. So that was one of them I noticed on the day while we was in there, as well as this one, and that is Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. I believe I've got this on the 3DS, but I haven't got it on the PSP. So when I saw it, I grabbed that and put that on the counter as well, because if you watch my Star Wars video game pursuit videos, you will know that I will collect these games on various systems, because what I'm trying to do is collect every single Star Wars game released on every system. I'll be honest with you, it's a hard undertaking, but it's a lot of fun trying, let's put it that way. I then got Mega Games 2. Now you're probably looking at this going, why on earth have you bought that, Lee? That's old, everybody's got it. I have got it, but I didn't have it boxed. And I was going to say or complete, but it isn't complete. It's the cart and one of the manuals. I've got to grab the other two manuals, but they shouldn't be too hard to find. I'm sure I can find them. So yeah, I've got the Golden Axe manual in there. I just need the Streets of Rage and the Revenge of Shinobi. And there's that name again, Shinobi. So once I've got them in there, it will be complete. But it's a lot more complete than what I originally had. I just had the cart only. Right, now, second to last thing. I love this. Got this for a fantastic price. I'm not going to say how much, because I'll be honest, I think Scott sold this for cheaper than it should really go for, if I'm honest. But that is this joystick for the Mega Drive. Now, I had a similar one back in the day. It wasn't quite the same as this one. It was slightly different. It didn't come out like this. It was like more round or rectangular, but with round edges. So it was a little bit different. And instead of these buttons, I think if I remember right, you had like little twist knobs for each button on how much you can increase. So it was very different to this one. But that got broken back in the day because my idiot brother decided to throw it across the room in a fit of rage, because he did things like that, because he was a moron. And he snapped the stick off because the metal didn't go all the way through the stick. It only went to a certain point and it snapped. So I've been without one. I saw that Scott had this when I last went down there, which of course was when I couldn't spend any money. So I said to him, right, can you put that aside for me when I next come up? And I've picked it up. Lovely stick. I'll be honest, I haven't got around to trying it yet, but I will be breaking the Mega Drive out and having a go on this, because there's a lot of nostalgia in this. It might be a bit different to the one I had before, but I'm sure it will still rekindle them memories, let's just say. So yeah, very happy with this. And then last but not least, and this was definitely the biggest and the most expensive thing that I picked up. If you've watched Second Chance Comics, you've already seen this. And that is King Shark. Now, I'm not even joking. This is quite a size. If I compare it to a PSP game, you can see the size difference. It weighs quite a bit too. And at the moment, he lives on my desk. Now, you might say, I've seen one of these before and they're not really that dear. Well, yeah, that'd be because the one you've seen is a different version. So the one that you can buy has different shorts, and you can pick it up about 50 quid boxed. This has a different colour shorts. The reason for that is because the only way you could get this was to collect all the other figures in the DC McFarlane line, and you got a piece with each figure, and then when you put it together it creates King Shark here. So this is a special variant. Now if you look on eBay, you can now pick these up. You can pick them up like this, but they fetch a few quid. I've seen these on eBay for 80 quid at least. I could tell you now, I didn't pay for that. I got a fantastic deal, but again, I'm not talking about the money here. I don't think that's right. But I'm very happy with this, and I love this. This looks good on my desk. And in fact, the minute I put it on my desk, I sent a photo to Scott saying, I guess this is where he lives now. So he's already seen where he is. But yeah, it's a great figure. I mean, like I say, it's quite heavy. It's not the biggest figure I've got, because I've got a 15-inch Mumra. I've got a huge Juggernaut, but it's definitely, I would say, one of the heaviest, because this is very heavy for the size of it. It's quite sturdy. So Yeah, so that's King Shark. And obviously, you probably noticed, if you're eagle-eyed enough, that there's something I've had on through this entire video. And that's right, that's the Retro Realm t-shirt. Really nice design. I do love this design. All the different characters you got all the way around it. You know, with Bomb Jack and... Alright, I don't like Dizzy, but it's good to see him on the t-shirt. You obviously got the dragon from Bubble Bobble. Cool Spot and various other characters, even Attic Attack you know. So it's a great design, and I've been after one of these t-shirts for a while, but each time I've gone down there, Scott's been out of stock on them, and he just so happened to have one in. It was the last one in my size, so I nabbed it. So yeah, I've now got a Sega Zombie and a Retro Realm t-shirt. So, and they're both great designs, so why wouldn't you want one? So yeah, like I said, it's a great day out. I really enjoyed myself. I think everybody did. And the good thing is the centre he's in has got some great stuff around it too, because next door you've got the Nerd Hut, and that reminds me, next time I go up there, I've got to get a doormat, because they do some interesting doormats like Star Trek or Game of Thrones, various different types. And there was a couple I saw, and I was umming and ahhing which one to get. And so next time I go down there, I think I'm going to grab one. You got HMV opposite. Now I went in there. Now, the good thing about HMV, right, is that you can go in there and you can see how expensive they are. Because I can tell you, you will find similar things in the Retro Realm that are also in HMV, but the difference is the price. You'll pay less for it in the Retro Realm. So if you live in Ipswich, guys, forget HMV, get yourself in the Realm, it'll cost you less. That's all I'm going to say. So it's a good standard to go by. You look in there and you go, oh, okay, that's 20 quid in there. You walk over to Scott's shop and it's a few quid less. You know, there's a big difference. Also, there's various CEXs around the place up there as well, or should I say a CEX and various style shops like that. That's what I should say, cash converters, etc. And what you'll notice with Scott is his prices are very fair. I mean, in most cases, they're actually cheaper than all of them. So, again, if you're going to them places, forget them, go to the Realm, it's cheaper. But the other thing is, when you go downstairs, they've got a Poundland. So I nipped down there to get a drink, and they've got a clothes bit in there. Similar to what I've got round my way, some of the bigger ones, the bigger Poundlands, have got a clothes department in there called Pep & Co, I think it's called. And I walked in there and I saw a load of like retro t-shirts. Batman, Top Gun, Back to the Future, various others. And I could have bought a few of these t-shirts, but there was only one they had in my size, and that was the Batman one. I'll put a picture up now so you can have a look at it. But again, you know, it was a nice thing to find unexpectedly while I was in there. And I guess what I'm getting at here, guys, is that where he is now, where the shop now is, it's better situated. It's got a lot of similar style shops around him. So if you've got an interest in these things, you could spend a while in this centre. But also, it's better situated in the town centre. So now he's getting more of a footfall. I think where he was before, a lot of people probably wasn't aware of it. You know, so now it seems that there's more people going in. I know for a fact while I was there, it was a lot busier. And the thing I also liked was, unlike the old micro shop, was if you ended up with two people coming in, you had to step out the store. And I felt at times that you couldn't really look that well because it was all quite enclosed. And the minute a customer come in, you had to move out. So there were times where I never really got a chance to really scan the shelves and see exactly what was there. What I can say is with the Retro 2.0, you don't get that same problem. When you're in the Realm 2.0, you now can actually walk around, you know, you're not cramped, and you can actually have a proper good look at everything in there. So again, the move was crucial, I think. You know, where Scott started was perfect. You know, when you're starting a new business, this is how everyone starts. You start out small, you get your constant customers coming in, and then once you start seeing that, you know, this business is showing a sign of working, then you obviously upgrade. You find a bigger premises, you put it in a better area, somewhere where everyone's going to find it. And I definitely think that's what's happened here. But anyway, I've gone on long enough. All I'm going to say, guys, if you are in the Ipswich area or pretty close, get yourself in there. I mean, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. This is easily one of the best retro shops there is. And like I say, or like I said earlier, if you got a missus, take her with you too, because you might well find that she might want to buy a couple of bits in there too, in the attic in the moon. So yeah, like I say, I really enjoyed it, and I do plan to get up there again soon. So all I'm going to say, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.